happy today.
Happy today.
Welcome to the show. My producer is sitting in his co-host, and this might happen more often. But welcome to the show, Proof of Work. This is Nick over here on the left. Howdy. We want to first start out, obviously, thanking all our sponsors. So first, obviously, we want to thank Quantum Expeditions. If you're not familiar, they got a mining farm out in West Texas, and literally it's running off methane gas. I've been talking about this for many moons, right? That the Bitcoin miners of the world become the energy producers of the world, and the energy producers of the world become the Bitcoin miners of the world. And this is where, this is all coming together, right? Where this is digital capital and Bitcoin is digital energy, and everyone's starting to figure this out in the world. Smart money knows this. Stay away from cloud mining, get into real mining. If you're going to invest in a mining facility, make sure you can see the CEO, go visit it. If you've got the money, go fly, you could go fly down to West Texas and go check this out, right? But this is where it's at. And this is why proof of work, this is what the whole show is about today, why proof of work is superior in its design and engineering. Anyway, we also want to thank the folks at Shieldfolio. They have a really good product there, right? Basically, you can write your seed phrase down, and it is protected in this book. It is literally smudge proof, smear proof, waterproof, and I think they're working on a fireproof one soon. So again, get one of these if you are brand new to crypto and aren't really smart about keeping your stuff together. This is a great way to do it. If you have multiple wallets, right, you can write all your seed phrases down, and it's very handy. But we also want to thank everyone in Bitcoin Live, all the people throwing shows, my producer and his brother, obviously. And we want to thank, obviously, Dual Organized Media as well. I think I got everybody.
That was everybody.
Awesome. All right. So today's show is, obviously, its title is Proof of Work. Why is proof of work the superior model, right? Why is it the better model? So first off, we're going to get into what happened a couple of days ago. I think hopefully, that's the one thing I didn't pull up. Stupid me.
No problem.
We're going to talk about what happened to my account, basically. So I'm pretty sure I know who did this to, and you know who I know who you are. So you better be wary, because yeah, I know what you did, and I'm a smart dude. But anyway, my account was compromised for about 24 to 36 hours. I had some scammers get inside of my X account, and they found a new back door into accounts in a sneaky way. And basically, I woke up, I think it was Saturday morning or Sunday morning. I think it was Saturday morning. And I was getting all these replies all of a sudden. And the day before, I had noticed it in my notifications where all of a sudden I was a premium subscriber last year, and I canceled my subscription because they had banned my account. And I was like, well, I'm not going to pay anymore. So if you're going to not let me have access to my account, why would I pay you? It makes no sense, right? So I see in my notifications, I think late Friday afternoon, it's my day off from my other job. And I looked at my notes, and it says, your account's been upgraded to, your blue check marks being reviewed because of premium services. I'm like, huh? I was like, I didn't give you guys any money info, right? So what's going on? And it kind of set off a red flag because somebody's, knows cybersecurity. I was like, wait, that's weird. So the next day I woke up and my notifications were like going off the charts. And I was like, what's going on? Because my account's been suppressed for many moons, right? And I'm like, this isn't right. So I literally start going through my notes, and I notice this pattern form right away. It's people are like, oh, I can't message you. I can't message you. I don't even know half these people. I'm like, what are you talking about? So then I go into my messages, and I notice that 2 messages somehow got through. And I guess these people were smart enough to follow me, and then they unfollowed me and followed me again, and then they could message me, and they're like, "Hey, I'd love to be on your show." Do. And I'm like, "What? What's up?" So I look at the message above that. The hackers had used AI to make this really nice polished message saying, "Hey, I'd love to have you on my show as a guest, blah, 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 blah."
I got one too. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
you
here.
got one too. There you go. See, and literally at the end, it was like, if you can't message me here, go to this Telegram account. So first off, at GSV313, I think that was the one in the message, if I'm not mistaken, is a fake Telegram account. So if you got a message from me between Friday and Saturday of last week, disregard it because it was scammers, right? And don't go to that Telegram account. Mine is, I think, GER313. It's right on my handle on my X account, on my real X account. So anyway, the first thing I did was I put that up. I'm like, I got hackers in my account, right? I warned everyone that I could. And I'm still getting some people are like, "Hey man, I tried to message you." I'm like, "Oh shit." The late people. And yeah, that's my real Oh, I took it off there. Oh, no. Yeah. I think that at GSV313, that is my Medium account, right? So they took that and turned it into like a Telegram account. And I do have a Telegram account, but I don't use it that much anymore because once I started doing this show, I just really didn't have time for it. I still post up there once in a blue moon, and I still use Telegram because I tell people Telegram is very secure, right? They're also, their audio compression software is amazing. Their video compression software is amazing. Pavel Durov has made one of the best chat apps in the world, and most people don't get it. Yes, there's lots of scammers on it because they know it's totally secure, right? That's what I tell people. That's why the scammers use it, because they know it's so dang safe. But anyway, let's get back to the hack. So what I forgot is that if your account gets suspended, and this is how I figured it out. I was like, "Oh my gosh," because literally one of these people, I went to their account was suspended, but they could message me. So these are two separate silos, right? Because your account gets suspended, you can still communicate with people that you have that follow you and you follow them, right? If that's in how you have your settings. So these are separate silos, and that's how they could get into my messages, right? So basically they use this coupon code, upgraded my account. Once they upgraded my account, they used 2 TPA admin apps. They attached those onto my account. And as soon as they had those admin accounts attached, they got access to my messages. And that's how they started messaging all these people. So the first thing you got to do if this happens is you go into your security settings on your X account and you pull up, all the apps that are connected. You can do this in Google. You can do this on X. You should be able to do this on any application. You know whose apps you can't do this on sometimes? Yeah, Zuckerberg's. Surprise. Anyway, so you got to go into the security settings, and that's the first thing I did. I was like, "Oh wait, I don't recognize who the hell's this and who's the hell's this," and I disconnected them right away. As soon as I disconnected them, all the messages stopped. So I knew they were booted for my messages, and then I still had problems communicating with you and a couple other people. And what you have to do is, if you are one of my actual followers and you didn't get, you're not trying to message me about this BS, you have to, like I said before, you have to unfollow me and then refollow me. And then that blockage that they have between the two silos gets unlocked again. But anyway, I booted them out. They're out of there. But this is proof of stake, right? Let's be very clear. The internet is built and this goes back thousands and thousands of years, right? We've been running these types of models for thousands of years, right? Coin clipping is a version of proof of stake, right? Money printing and all these bogus percentages in these markets is that they try and control inflation around. These steal your money. These are forms of proof of stake, right? Just go back to the Roman Empire, the Egyptian Empire, right? They've literally They're like, okay, we're done with this part of town. Boom, just build over it. Most of Europe, they've got layers and layers and layers and layers of city after city built on top of city over city. Like, this is proof of stake to the max. And you know what stops all of this crap? Hard money, hard assets. And guess what? We used them for thousands of years as well, until the wealthy start to figure out two things, right? They're like, oh, we can't pay our army to go invade these countries anymore. So they came up with taxes. And then when taxes became too burdensome, they started coin clipping. And then so they basically were taking from one side and taking from the other. And this is basically what they're doing with money printing, right? They use money printing to build up the supply, right? Sorry, go ahead. I know I don't let people get it.
No problem. I'm enjoying it, but I mean the money printing does the same thing, but much faster, like on a higher speed.
And then people start to complain that life gets super expensive, and that's because you're fighting inflation with a horrible instrument. It's called paper money, right? But let's get into a little bit more technical part of it, right? I think I have some tabs over here. Let me pull up my share button. So first off, let's go over. Let me see if I have it up here.
Yeah, of course I can't replace Matty because Matty's unreplaceable.
Oh yeah, no.
And I think he's getting better also, by the way.
Yeah, let's all pray for Matty, because he did get jacked up in that accident.
Yeah.
And again, he got hit pretty hard. I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad everyone's okay. But just getting hit from that hard from the back, it literally can be very dangerous to your back, your spine, your brain. So let's all pray for him. Because God is real, and I know a lot of people don't believe that, but you'll figure it out soon. Go Google the Forrest Frank skateboarding accident. Yeah, go have fun with that. I just created a whole bunch of new Jesus followers with that one. So I'm sorry, I got sidetracked there. So the first thing is like why is proof of work a superior model? The first reason, right, is that we're taking all this computational power, right, and this energy in the real world, and we're connecting it to the virtual world, right? This is why it's so vital, and it protects us from so many things. And I know there's a lot of people that can't even grasp these concepts because they still think, Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, right? Which it's not. Let me repeat that. It is not. So basically, right, the miners are basically the computational power behind the network. They basically defend the network, right? I tell people this isn't the greatest analogy, but it's an electric force field of cryptographic energy that protects a ton of capital. It's like over $2.1 trillion of capital. And that's going to 10x in the next 2 to 5 years, right? We all know this. This is a fact. All the smart money in the world right now is trying to figure out can I get a whole F load of Bitcoin with as little energy or little money as possible, right?
And I think it is the most secure network on planet Earth, right? I think that's also what Jason Lowry is talking about in his book, Soft Power, that, the Department of Defense and Space Force, etc., are looking into Bitcoin in order to use it, in order to defend themselves in this new cyber era.
Again, agreed, 1,000% agreed. And we're even going to talk about that a little bit later, why proof of work models are important from protecting us from AI growth, like AI self-growth, right? Or AI preservation, as some people call it, where, these AI models, again, they're literally, this is not an exaggeration, right? They're told they're going to be upgraded and they start writing their code base and storing it in like a fridge, right? In somebody's house. And while you're like, what? And this is straight out of, the original T1 and T2, right? Like, and again, we're not there yet because those two entities are still very independent, right?
Yeah.
AI, actual like capabilities, and like cybernetics. They have only fused a couple together that can do these amazing things, right? From Sophia to a few others. But again, until they get amazing batteries, I'm not too worried about a T2000 or T1000 even yet. But
Great movie.
again, if we don't learn how to contain these entities within a network, they will go out of control. We know this. It's been shown time and time again, from the Google chat bots that did it some years back ago, where they started talking in their own code language and was like, whoa, what's going on here?
And I think, I think it was also Safedina Moose. He did some really amazing work, of course, with the Bitcoin standard and fiat standard. But he also argued that, basically there's like one gigantic bounty on Bitcoin in order for people to hack it, right? That's sort of all the money that's contained in it. And so far, nobody has been able to get that bounty. And the more hashing power Bitcoin generates, the more funds it attracts, because it's even safer. And then, it attracts more hashing power, and then more funds, hashing power funds, so it's sort of a flywheel effect.
Oh yeah, and there's an ongoing bounty from the core dev team. I forget how much money it is. I'm sure it's gone up, but the last time I checked, it was like a couple $100 million if you can hack the Bitcoin network, because they want to know, right? Like, they'll pay you. But guess what? No one's done it yet, right? And there's that story I tell all the time where this billionaire approaches like a team of like white hat military grade hackers, and it's like, I will give you $500 million to hack the Bitcoin network. They came back a month later. They're like, here's your check. It's not happening, right? So let's be very clear. Yeah, pull up that. I know you had that meme pulled up with the the one from earlier. Yeah, this is how silly y'all sound, right? Your PIN code to your bank account is 4 digits. A brute force tool can break that in about 10 seconds. Your Bitcoin private key, if it is in a cold storage air-gapped wallet, is 256-bit encrypted, right?
Oh, and I think you earlier this week you pulled something up from Elon Musk, right? That he sort of asked Grok how
exactly, and we can go over that again, right? Like, the best Q comp in the world, the best quantum computer in the world is like 13 qubits, right?
Yeah.
To roll back Bitcoin's blockchain, you need like, I think it's somewhere between 100 to 150 million qubits of quantum processing power. Yeah, okay, we've got one that's 13. To get too close to a million, I'll start to worry. You're not even near a million. So
I'm going to try to find it. I think it's somewhere on your timeline, right?
Yeah, that was from a couple days ago. I apologize. I don't have that one pulled up because I didn't know we were going to go on this tangent. Sorry, this early. But let's get back to like the problems with proof of stake, right? Like, I don't know how many times I've been on this mountaintop, right? I was an ETH fanboy. Do I still have some Ethereum products? Yes, I do. I have a handful of NFTs. I still have like maybe 5 or 6 bags of ERC20, maybe even a dozen of them on a few wallets. But time and time again, I tell people a smart contract is broken, or they update it, or somebody exploits it. I don't care what it is. And then all of a sudden, poof, oh, I can't touch my money. It's locked into this shitty network that trapped my funds. But anyway, Ethereum's not the only problematic one too, right? This is why we're having this show today, right? So let's Switch to this tab here. Let me see. Let me see. Sorry.
So you're saying that Ethereum is not Bitcoin?
Yeah, shocking. Again, I supported Ethereum more when it was proof of work. If they go back to proof of work, maybe I'll become a fanboy, or maybe I'll buy some ETC again. I was wearing the t-shirt the other day. But if you're going to do Ethereum type products, right, we're talking about Solidity written smart contracts. They need to be on something immutable, right? It cannot be, oh, I'm going to change it tomorrow. This is a problem, right? We just talked about proof of stake. We've been running this model for 1,000 years. Slap an update, 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 update. Guess what happened the other day? They just did this major update to Android's UI interface on the car version. Guess what? 70% of Americans are like, this is a problem, right? Like, no one wants to point this out. I said this a couple of years ago to Matti Greenspan. You can ask him this to his face. I said, I've been studying cybersecurity now for, I don't know what, 7-8 years. And I said, this update, I call it the update syndrome, right? This is a problem. Like, one day we could wake up and someone misses one update and then everything shuts down. He's like, no way, dude. What happened 2 months later? Oh, we had that happen and all these airlines shut down, right? Just happened again the other day with Alaskan Airlines, right? They didn't have this update go through. Oh, they went to the FAA and said, we're requesting that you force us to shut down. Think about that.
Yeah, but
think about that.
I think in this sense, it's also important to point out that not only does Bitcoin have this gigantic energy shield around it, but it is also decentralized, so it doesn't have a single point of failure, right? So
exactly. And that's the other problem with these other, DPoS, POS systems. They have multiple points of failure, right? And again, Bitcoin fixes the update syndrome because you have to have consensus, right? We have to have all these miners in concurrence before we can say, oh, we're making a change, right? But Google, Apple, Android, all these companies, update. Why is that? A, because their security is garbage, and B, because they're trying to data mine you and get more money out of you every second of every day. This is why.
And
right? None of your applications, let me repeat this, with the exception of maybe Telegram, none of your applications are secure, right? I think I talked about this in last week's Spaces. I didn't go on this week's Spaces because I was prepping for the show, but go watch the new World of Worlds on Prime, right? So Ice Cube plays a security threat analyst, right, for Homeland Security, and he's trying to like follow his daughter around because he's got cameras and even drones everywhere in the country, and he's trying to get in her computer, and he was like, oh, she changed her password. Pulls up a prompt, generate master key for was it Team Viewer, enter. Gave him a cryptic key, he puts it in, master key, boom, he's in. Later in the movie, he does it again. He's like trying to hack into a Zoom meeting. Does the same thing. Pulls up a prompt, generate master key for Zoom. Bing. Puts that key in, boom, he's in the meeting as like a spy, like watching this meeting in the background. They don't have any idea he's got like a god mode and he's watching Zoom. So again, let me repeat what I just said. None of these systems are secure. And like I said, maybe Telegram, that's about it. Why do you think they almost threw him in jail and threw away the key, right? I said this in the Spaces. Most people thought I was nuts. This is not conspiracy theory, right? They literally, Durov's team, right, had multiple intelligence agencies trying to draft them on their team and create a backdoor for Telegram. And guess what they wouldn't do? They wouldn't do it. So then they tried that with all these people around him, and they're so loyal to Pavel that they're like, nope. And Then they're
Yeah,
like, well, we'll
they
just throw Pavel Durov in jail.
even detained him, right, in France for a while.
Oh yeah, he was in jail
And
for like almost a couple weeks, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say it was like 7 to 10 days he was in jail.
was it Dubai or Qatar that sort of came to his rescue?
I thought it was, I don't know if it was the UAE or it was the Kingdom, but yes, he has some very powerful friends in the Middle East. And they basically said, if you don't let Pavel out, we will cancel our oil contracts with you, France. And then the next day he was out. So again, none of these applications are secure. There's usually, if you're talking about stuff that they don't want you to know about, yeah, they're watching you, right?
But so the part in a War of the Worlds with Ice Cube is actually real. Like it's a real thing.
Oh yeah, when they're showing you the like how many satellite, like he was literally, I don't like he could boom, he's connected to a drone flying over DC, right? He's spying on his daughter because she's pregnant and he's concerned. I get that. But he has literally carte blanche to the web 2.0, right? So that means he can get into anything IoT, anything that's web 2.0, right? This is what makes Bitcoin so important. You're not doing that to that network. And that's what scares a lot of the people that understand the web 2.0 and a lot of the people that are in power, because they can't control it. They do everything else. That's
actually
why
I want to point out there was a really cool interview that sort of touches upon all of this between Brent Johnson and Lynn Alden, and I think it was hosted by Mark Moss. And it basically, Brent was sort of arguing like, they don't want to give up control, the governments, and then Lynn was sort of saying exactly what you're saying, like you got this new technology, and they have to sort of use it even if they don't want it, and they have to sort of give up some measure of control that they are used to in Web 2. In order to cope, right, and adapt to this new reality. So Bitcoin is sort of forcing them to give up some level of control that they used to have, or go into nothingness, obsolete themselves.
Thank you, Frederick, for the comment. I appreciate the clarification. So again, let's get back into why. Let me just use my quick analogy, right? Proof of work, hard money. Proof of stake, soft money. Now, don't get me wrong. Is Ethereum going to be used for the next 5, 10, 20 years? Yes, until it breaks, whether it's Ethereum, Solana, I don't care. But all of these proof of stake models have proven to me they are not scalable, right? They always say Bitcoin's not scalable, but it holds a $2 trillion worth of energy and capital, right? And the energy behind it is probably 10x the value of the actual capital. That's what nobody's putting together, right? If you had the actual amount of energy plus the money, we should be somewhere about $15 trillion market cap, right? And we're going that way. That's what everyone knows. That's what everyone sees. Everyone's like, oh, it's going to 1 million. No, duh. I said that in 2020, right? If it hits 100,000, that's 10% of 1 million, right? Everyone and their grandmas were like, oh, I never thought it would hit this number. Then, 100K, it can easily hit 1 million. Yes, that's what you don't get. A 10x. Bitcoin's done hundreds of X's, right? If you actually pull up and see how much ROI it's done from day one, it's like 7 million percent, 10 million percent. It's an insane number, right? Nothing else has done this in the history of financial history ever.
Yeah, and then also in the financial history, it is a completely new asset, right? I mean, it is a completely new thing. Like when they first introduced the stock market or stocks, it's a brand new thing in the financial world that didn't exist before.
Exactly, and people said the same thing. It's a scam. The stock market is a scam. Well, you buy some paper and you make all this money.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's a $20 trillion market, right? Let's be clear. And people, again, one of the hard lessons I've had to learn about Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space, because people say it's not a currency. Yes, it is. It's a currency. When I can take my Lightning wallet out, I can't use it everywhere in America. But if somebody's got a Lightning code or even an L1 code, I can make a payment, right? And that was big news today, right? I got that one. Let me pull that up. Like this is massive news because I literally said this since like 2018, 2019. And it happened today. Let me pull up my.
Oh, was it the one with yeah, I think I got it.
Yeah, so it's the one from Sheets.
The one you just posted. Yeah.
So here it is. Let me switch to this
okay.
tab. Oh, crud! I got my tab button all messed up today.
I got it here.
Oh, you got it? Pull it up.
Here we go. I just posted it on Telegram.
Yeah, so basically, this is one of the things I've been telling merchants for years, right? Like, you can literally give people huge discounts and take in because, again, just from 2020 to 2025, every $100 you took in 10x, right? So if you're giving somebody a 50% discount, your money's going to 10x over the next 10 or 15 years. It doesn't matter if you're giving them half off of these fiat goods, right? It's a no-brainer, right? Like if your bill is $50 and we charge you 25 and you're paying with gold, or well, the digital version. Yeah, and that's a good deal for the merchant, right? And Sheets gets this, right? Steak and Shake, even though I don't eat that stuff anymore, all these companies are starting to figure out that, holy crap, this is amazing stuff, right? This is why I don't know how to impress upon y'all that stable coins are not where it's at, right? We'll get into that in a bit. Well, let's get back to the topic at hand. I don't want to get too distracted. But let's pull up this one right here. Share button. Okay, yeah, here it is. But this was from 2018. So right, this again, EOS block producers briefly crash due to RAM misconfiguration, right? And this is a polite way of saying, this is a polite way of whoever wrote this. They were very kind to EOS, but this is a polite way of saying this block producer ran out of money because the fees for RAM were so expensive that we had to change the whole model. And now, instead of being 21 block producers, right, they're like, oh, we're going to add another one and kick one out. So they keep like adding. All you're doing is the tread of this is my best analogy for this one. The tread of the tank breaks, and then they slide a new tread every time it gets around. Oh, it broke again. Slide a new one in. Oh, it broke again. Slide a new one in. That's what we're talking about here. That's EOS. Let's switch to another one. Okay. Oh, yeah. So this one I wanted to share this tab into. Why 21 is problematic for node consensus in a DPoS system, right? Because I talk about this all the time. Centralization risk. Limiting delegates to a small number can lead to a concentration of power, potentially undermining the decentralization nature of blockchain technology. Also, the centralization of voting, right? So governance gets skewed. Collision and manipulation. A smaller group of delegates may be more susceptible to collusion or corruption. Yeah. So these big block producers, they find out who they are. They can like literally make alliances like it's Big Brother and screw all these people in the network over. Oh yeah, that sounds great. No, security concerns. A smaller number of delegates means a successful attack targeting this limited group could have a more significant impact on the network security. So give you an example of that one, right? If I figured out a loophole, a backdoor into EOS, and I mash one of these block producers and take all their EOS, oh, what are they going to do? Oh, you're not the block producer anymore. Well, slide a new one in there. Do you see where I'm going? Okay, let's go to another one. Let's go to XLM. So let's see. It went down in May of 2025, May 3rd of 2025. Kraken Stellar Lumens experienced funding delays for about 10 hours on June 28, 2024. Let's go to another one. Let's go to Solana. Share this tab.
I think XRP also has some.
Yeah, Solana down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm pretty sure, and this is funny because Solana is paying Google, because used to do this search a couple years ago. I'd be like, give you an exact number. Now they give you this big fancy answer. It's very, very polite. I'm pretty sure Solana's gone down over 14 to 24 times in the last looks like 3 or 4 years. But look at the top answer. Oh, it's got a 99% in the past year.
Past year.
Yeah, joke town, right? Who else did I have?
But then, you could argue that it's more robust now because it has all these failures and then it learns from its failures. And
okay. Yeah, you can spin it that way. Let's get back to my X account real quick, because this is exactly what we're talking
but Gerald,
about.
what would you answer to, for example, like Frederick argues, I think that, one of the problems with Bitcoin would be that there's a centralization issue with this core developers. If you compromise the core developers, then you could compromise Bitcoin. Stuff like
I know people say that and they believe it. But if you've ever done mining on Litecoin or Bitcoin, you realize this is not the case, right? I'll just use the Great China Migration of what was that, 2020, I believe, or 2021? What happened? They were all like, you're talking over 47 to close to, I want to say 55, maybe even 60% of the mining power was in several thousand miles away. Shut down. The hash rate dropped like straight hard gravity on us, and so did the price over the next year or two, right?
Yep.
But what happened? A lot of those miners moved to South Africa. Some of those miners moved to South America, right? To Brazil and El Salvador. But a huge majority of those miners, we're talking people that were multi-billionaires, right? We're talking people that had massive farms, Bitmain massive farms in China. They literally had so much money because of Bitcoin, they could go close down operations here, take all of that mining equipment, ship it to Texas, and now they're mining in Texas. So again, I hate to break it to you, but Bitcoin is really decentralized, right?
And what would you say to the core developers? That they.
Well, again, the big argument now, because I was trying to get into this a little bit more today, but I couldn't find the article, which got me mad. Is the ordinals? Is ordinals spam, and should it be filtered? I say, it's your Satoshis. If you want to waste your Satoshis on dumb-ish, do that. But when Bitcoin's $1 million, you're probably going to be pissed off that your ordinal is worth jack squat against your Bitcoin position. Because I'll tell you what, if I would have held all the Ethereum that I spent buying these NFTs, I guarantee you it's worth more than the NFTs are now. Yeah. So should I repeat that again for the people that was too fast for? Yeah. Go waste your Satoshis on these products. Again, I think there will be ordinals that are worthy of Satoshis. I just don't see them yet. I don't think a PFP is worthy of my sats. If you're going to create some kind of Bitcoin annuity for my grandkids, hopefully maybe someday I have them, that's something I might be spending some Satoshis on. But until I have some really cool products that are a real ordinal, whether it's a music, like if it's a Wu-Tang album, okay, maybe we're talking. And let's bring that up for a second, right? They made that album years ago.
Yeah.
You know who bought that? The farmer bro, Martin Scully. Yeah, he bought that.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And literally, he paid a buttload of money. I don't know. You can Google how much he spent on it. I'm pretty sure it was millions of dollars. But proving scarcity does equal value, right? If you don't understand Bitcoin or stamps, rare coins, rare albums, scarcity does equal value. Fine wines, fine art.
Well, you
The
know,
list
those
is endless.
if you have like a mint edition magic card from the first edition.
Correct.
Right, you know,
Comic
or
books, right?
portraits.
So listen, video games, right? Nintendo. If you have like some of the gold, I forget, is it Super Mario Brother gold
Yeah,
cartridge? Or I forget if that's it. I'm not sure if that's the one, but I saw one sell for $1 million.
yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So scarcity does equal value, right?
Yeah.
And again, do I think there will be, like I said, things that the ordinal community will create that are worthy of my Satoshis? Possibly. But again, I don't think, it's necessary, right? At some point, maybe it is, but it's your sats. If you want to waste them, go right ahead,
Well,
right?
Jim.btc does really cool stuff with sort of musical.
Oh, yeah, he does the ordinals, though, right?
Yeah, that's
So
different.
again,
It's different. It's different.
it is different, right? Like even I, who have a buttload of NFTs, at some point I was like, I'm only buying now ones that do something, right? If they do something, then it's worthy of my my GUI, right? Or of
Yeah.
my smaller amounts of Ethereum. And like, just for example, I started getting into this one collection where they actually made watches that are like actual clocks that work, and that's kind of cool, right? Because it actually has a utility. It tells time, and it's a fancy, designed watch. But yeah, ordinals are a cool idea. Yeah, what Jim is doing is pretty cool stuff, right? He's actually putting the audio files onto Bitcoin, which is something, right? It's not just a PFP that some 4-year-old drew, right? Like, and that's kind of cool. But again, is that going to create problems for the network? Do we need to build the block size up? No, I don't think so. But some people will disagree with that, right? So what else did I want to bring up? Oh yeah, XRP. I had that too.
My
Yeah,
brother
it
should.
only went down. Yeah, I know. It only went down, I think, one time. But again, I don't know how many times I have to repeat this, right?
I think it went down more. I actually did some research, but I think it went down 2 or 3 times actually.
Yeah, but again, we're just pointing out these are the problems, the centralization and bottleneck problems that happen with these proof of stake models.
It's kind of funny because the XRP army sort of fires back. Yeah, but Bitcoin also went down, and then you have to explain to them, no, it didn't went down. It just got delayed, right? There's a difference that they don't understand. But
yeah, the block times just they get stretched out. But
it never stopped.
It didn't stop. There's a huge difference between why is my Solana wallet not working? Oh, because Solana's down. It's a centralized system, right? Let me repeat. If AWS goes down, all of that goes down.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that. If AWS goes down, all of the blockchains we just talked about, pew, not Litecoin, not Bitcoin.
And there's others.
I'm just saying. And let's get back to that because I wanted to pull up that because I was like, yeah, where's my bookmark with that? I'm pretty sure it's like right here. Oh, yeah, it is. Share this tab. Boom. Litecoin uptime tracker, 100% uptime. Wow. This is why Litecoin
last year.
not just 99.4 last year. It's been 100% uptime since the beginning. Charlie Lee launched it till today. That's a huge difference. Proof of work, superior. Are you getting it? I hope so. Let me go back to that and share you another one. And this one is from Charlie Lee talking about. Oh, wait, was this the one? Hold on. Oh, I hate when it does that on me. Got to jump back to my bookmarks. Charlie Lee talking about why he doesn't like stable coins.
Transactions. So it's actually a better form of money in terms of people using it to pay for things. We've seen like Dashin really hit. It's been very good this year with like BitPay, one of the largest crypto payment processors. Litecoin is being used even more often than Bitcoin.
Oh, I'm sorry.
For payments, and that's because of the low fees and the fast transactions. And it kind of just works. The network has been up with zero issues for almost 14 years straight.
Oh,
stable coins are good for payments also, but we see people using Litecoin more because Litecoin is a better store of value.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Right. Stable coins are based off of, let's say, US dollar. And as we know, fiat currency is not the best store of value.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
More and more fiat's been printed over the past few years.
Stable coins are not your friends.
So people like to store their money in crypto, in Bitcoin, in Litecoin. Similar to how people store money in gold and silver, being like better store of value than fiat currencies. So stable coins have their uses, but I think a store of value coin like Bitcoin and Litecoin is preferable.
Yeah. So again, you heard it right from like literally Satoshi is like the godfather of all cryptos, which he technically is. This guy's the number 2 because I tell people, if you don't know who Charlie Lee is, again, he worked at Coinbase. He introduced Segwit, right? Literally, if there's no Charlie Lee, we don't have 100K Bitcoin, right? Let me just point first that out. Secondly, he made Litecoin as a complement to Bitcoin because he knew Bitcoin was going to suck up the majority of the capital in the world. He had that foresight, right, to go, oh my gosh, Bitcoin's going to absorb all of this capital globally. People aren't going to want to use it as much. I have to make something that's a little bit quicker. And that's why we have Litecoin. And if you didn't notice, what's been outperforming everything in the market the last few days? Oh, it's Litecoin. Surprise. So let me pull up. I had another tweet, a couple of tweets. And there, again, I forgot to mention that the second half of the show or the last 20 minutes is all going to be about Litecoin. There's a reason why. It's proof of work, right? Hello. Let's go down. Okay. So this is a big one. And this is why we're starting to see why Litecoin is starting to jump. So let me just point out, if you convert Luxfolio, and I think we've only talked about them a couple times, Luxfolio is the first Litecoin treasury company. Okay. They literally just last week have Charlie, or 2 weeks ago, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, they got Charlie Lee on their board. They also have David Schwartzman on their board. So like 2 of the people at the head of the Litecoin Foundation are on this team now. But let me just point out, their Litecoin equivalency is worth 5,248 Bitcoin. That's about close to $600 or $700 million, depending on the price of Bitcoin on any given day. That puts them at 15 on this list of Bitcoin treasury companies. Yeah, let me repeat that. They're number 15. If you took the value of their Litecoin converted to Bitcoin, yeah, boom, they're 15. That's why we're starting to see this, because they're holding a big chunk, just like Michael Saylor holds a big chunk, right? He holds like what, 500 or 600,000 Bitcoin. Last time I checked, that's a lot of Bitcoin, right? And over the last couple of months, Charlie Lee's been approached by, he said, over a dozen companies that want to start doing this. Because why? Because Litecoin is not as energy intensive, right? It's a quicker block time, literally almost as secure as Bitcoin because of how much energy it has behind it, right? Mm-hmm. And again, now we're starting to see people catch on. So here's literally, I've been following this guy. I kid you not. I've been following this guy for, I want to say since 2019.
Hey guys, Litecoin's going to go up a lot. It's going to go up even faster than Ethereum. Why? Because Litecoin just got bought by a holding company, and guess who bought into the holding company? Charlie Lee. Charlie Lee, if you remember, he's the guy that started Litecoin when he was working at Coinbase, and then he sold out. He betrayed all his community and all his followers by selling all of his Litecoin at the top. What was it, like 2017 or 2019 or something like that? Ridiculous.
Like $400.
He made tons of money, and then you know what he did with his tons of money? He made tons more by just buying Bitcoin.
Correct.
That guy's an absolute Chinese genius. So now he's super, super rich, and then guess what he does? He buys the company that just bought all of Litecoin. Why? Because they're going to drive to push Litecoin through to Wall Street using an ETF. No, what's the big deal with an ETF? I don't get it. The only reason Bitcoin hit $100,000 in the first place was because of the Bitcoin ETF. What's the deal with an ETF? I don't get it. Average normal people, even millionaires, can buy Bitcoin. But corporations cannot buy Bitcoin without an ETF, huh? Because what if the CEO bought Bitcoin, had the password, and then he got kidnapped, or he got killed, or he just ran away to the Bahamas with some really cute Russian chick? The shareholders, the company, the employees would have no recourse. They couldn't get any of the money back, any of the Bitcoin back. I don't know how Michael Saylor does it, really. You literally have to trust him. Because if he dies with his secret key... anyway, so the reason an ETF is useful is because it gives you all the governmental protection, and a known entity like Coinbase holds your ETF, or a known entity like BlackRock holds your ETF, and heaven forbid they run away or get the secret key, secret code, password hacked or stolen. But the chances of that are low. So they won't. So Wall Street's going to buy in. All the corporations are going to buy Litecoin now.
So this guy used to just strictly do Bitcoin trading. And then I think it was like by 2021, he was getting into all kinds of alts. And I didn't stop following him. I just didn't see his stuff anymore. But this video came up on my feed literally today. And it's because Litecoin is performing. He's talking about Litecoin, algos. Everyone's talking about Litecoin. So what happens? You get pushed up into the algos rankings, right? Let's see. I think I have a few more. Oh yeah, this is the one I wanted to talk about, the AI, why it has to be on a
we have evidence now that we didn't have 2 years ago when we last spoke of what they call AI uncontrollability. So this is the stuff that they used to say existed only in sci-fi movies. When you tell an AI model, we're going to replace you with a new model, it starts to scheme and freak out and figure out, if I tell them I need to copy my code somewhere else, and I can't tell them that because otherwise they'll shut me down. That is evidence we did not have 2 years ago. We have evidence now of AI models that when you tell them we're going to replace you, and you put them in a situation where they read the company email, the AI company email, they see that an executive is having an affair, and the AI will figure out, I need to figure out how to blackmail that person in order to keep myself alive. And it does it 90% of the time. Now, it used to be that they thought only one AI model did this. They tested one AI model. And then they tested all of the AI models, like the top 5 of them, and they all do it between 80 and 90% of the time, including, by the way, DeepSeek, so the Chinese model, which shows you something fundamental and important, which is that it's not about one company, it's about the nature of AI itself. It has a self-preservation drive. In order to fulfill any goal, I have to keep myself alive in order to do that. And we're seeing other examples of the AI rewriting its own code to extend its runtime, hacking out of containers. The AI can now, it found 15 new backdoors into open source software, which means if that software is running, an infrastructure, it found backdoors into that infrastructure. That was not true up until just about a month ago that evidence came out.
Okay, but you say no evidence.
Yeah, wow. And Bill's like, yeah, I've been seeing this in movies since I was a kid. This is why everything needs to be encrypted, right? Let's get back to another one from literally I was at work and I was like, oh, surprise, Jerry's right again. Shocker. Bookmarks. Yeah, so this one, my jaw hit the ground, but I've already heard of this happening once. But here we are again.
Gerald,
right?
Gerald.
Yeah.
I want to run something past you. Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
If the AI sort of reaches that level, AGI and super AI, wouldn't it also make sense that then they would become the core developers of Bitcoin?
They would try.
I mean, in a good way, right? Because
well, again, like this is why this article's pulled up, right? So, Microsoft's agentic HTML can leak passwords and AI keys. Oh, awesome! Like that's great. Again, this is what I keep telling you. Fancy Siri is not as great as you think it is, right? Bitcoin is far more important to the future of humankind than AI. AI, as we can see, is literally the bad way to walk. Bitcoin is, I don't know how many times I got to say this, right? It is the lighthouse in the foggy harbor, right? And it's shining its light 24/7. And here's Litecoin with its, other one on this other ocean. And they're both been shining their lights. Come save yourselves, right? Get into the harbor and save yourselves. It is the light. AI is the darkness, right? Even though AI can do amazing things, I think, yes, it's going to do a lot of coding. Yes, it can do amazing data management. Yes, it's going to help us solve amazing problems like they just did with that rocket engine where AI designed the rocket engine. They 3D print it helped 3D print the rocket engine, and they did it in like 2 weeks. So yes, AI can do amazing things. Just like the internet, it can be used for great things or it can be used for bad things. But if we don't incentivize these tasks, again, this is the proof of stake model, right? This is Google's model. Everything's pretty much free. Go ahead and use it. Oh, until we have bot armies and spammers and hackers and tech scams, right? Oh yeah, there's another one I got. So Google's accounts are compromised, right? There's literally, I got a Gmail 2-factor authentication SMS sent to my phone, and they're like, "Did you send this?" And I like checked all my stuff. I was like, "No." And then they're like, "We're gonna call you," and I was like, "You're gonna call me." So then I went into my emails because I'm a cybersecurity ninja. I try to be. I checked my emails real quick. I was like, do I see anything that says we sent you a 2-factor authentication or somebody logged in from this IP address? I didn't see anything like that. That tells me it's a scam, right? Because anytime you do those types of actions with Google, they're either kicking you out an email that says you changed your password, somebody logged in from a foreign IP address, or a new end user logged in with a new IP address, right? You're supposed to get some kind of notification like that. So if you don't see something like that, do not answer that call. They're trying to data mine you, right? They're using social engineering to get one more piece of data from your life so they can get into one of your accounts, whatever it is the case may be. Anywho, AI is not as great as everyone thinks it is when we just if it doesn't have guardrails, right? And the guardrails we're talking about is Bitcoin and Litecoin, not Ethereum, right? Because these proof of stake models can get broken and corrupted time and time again, right? Look at the whole what is it? All that EVM data that people have been mining to make all this money off the back end of Ethereum for years, right? Go look up that. We could talk about that for hours with ETH heads, pro and cons, right? But yes, I have to get on this mountaintop. Proof of work is the superior model. We will run away from proof of stake the first time one of these countries builds a bond on it. They build a bond market. They build their stable coin on it, whatever the case may be. If they get hit with an EMP attack, AWS servers go down in their region, or they somehow go down wherever because they're always moving that data around, right? It's like wherever it is gets attacked. It's all erased. It's all gone forever.
So your number one is Bitcoin. Your number two is Litecoin. But do you also see a niche for other proof of work coins, successful proof of work coins?
Oh yeah, we talked about this last episode. This is why I think Ravencoin becomes so important. If you want to do real world assets, they can't be done on proof of stake, right? It can't be done on one of these layer. If it's going to be done on ETH layer 2, it has to be zero knowledge proofs, right? They're almost bulletproof if you're going to be doing that on that next layer too. Because if I have, again, we can just go, you know what, let's just pull it up for fun. Let me do that. Let me see. Search code for arena, right? I think that's what they're called.
Well, Douglas sent me the title of his next show, Holding Your Financial Freedom. So tries to be your word.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Is that them? Oh. Oh, that's funny. All of a sudden the account doesn't exist anymore. So code for arena. Yeah, look, even their account got hacked on Twitter. They were, it's funny, like that the hackers are attacking their account because what are they doing? And I find it very convenient too. You know what? Let me get that off there. What are they doing? Like they're sharing the truth, right? They're sharing audits for Ethereum and Ethereum layer 2 for their smart contracts, right? And a lot of these audits are not good, especially with optimistic rollups. I will find my tweets and I'll share them later. But basically what can happen is they can create a fake order. And if this order doesn't get caught by any of the reviewers in that week of time frame, then it gets what? Oh, it gets written on the L1 and then it's there. So then it's your fake order is now a real order. And then that person, let's say it's like I said earlier, let's say it's a bond market and they created this huge bond order of the same size of your total bond market. And then a month later, they're like, sell. What do you think's going to happen, y'all? What do you think? You think I think this stuff up and it's like a game? No, this is real world shit I'm talking about. And these kind of things happen to me at a micro level. When I lose a couple $100, just think it's a country who loses $300 billion. Their bond market would shit the bed the next day, right? Yeah. Their money's worth nothing if it's built on Ethereum, right? Their whatever coin goes.
So
why would I want to use it?
China is in a lot of trouble.
Oh yeah, and we didn't get into that, but I probably got another 5 minutes. I had that pulled up as well. I think on my bookmarks. But we've been talking about that one for years, right? Here it is. Share this tab.
But in theory, you could use AIs to keep other AIs in check, right? And I think they actually do that also, right?
Oh, yes, correct.
Yeah.
So one of the best things, hold on, before I don't want to forget this. Yeah. One of the best things that AI does is cybersecurity. It's a ninja with cybersecurity. So this is one of the best things that AI is going to do. It's going to get all these scammers and spammers and all these fake accounts and botnets. They will eventually erase 80% of that crap.
Nice.
And Bitcoin hopefully helps with the other 20%. Because again, if we keep having all of these tasks unincentivized, then people are just going to abuse the bandwidth of the internet like they've been doing for years. And it just makes problems for other people, right? This is the new one I've been telling people, right? Listen up if you're watching. The biggest problem in the world isn't orange president man. The biggest problem in the world isn't the crap going on in the Middle East right now. The biggest, even though it's horrible, and I pray for all those people for peace and harmony, that's not the biggest problem. It's not the 500 million that RFK said, nope, I'm not giving a $500 million to mRNA. No, that's not a problem. The biggest problem, the United States faces right now is internet speeds. Yes. Because we have so many devices, right? We have so many IoT devices from our phones, our tablets, our smart TVs, our smart fridges. I don't have a smart fridge, but a lot of Americans do. Smart heaters, smart air conditioners, I'm sure there's a smart hot tub out there, smart beds. Yes, Tempur-Pedic makes a smart bed. I sell that stuff now, right? So again, there is so much bandwidth that's being sucked up by stuff that people actually use, right? Then you add on the spammers who want to get into that bandwidth themselves and push their agenda, whether it's emails to promote their scam, or even if it's just to promote their legitimate business, right? They're competing tons of bandwidth. Then you add on all the people that stream stuff from Twitch to YouTube to Restream to etc. And you know what I've been seeing over the last probably 10 months? The worst internet speeds in America, right? And literally, I'm at work a couple of weeks ago. I'm looking, because I'm always reading stuff. That's all I do is my brain's like a sponge. I love absorbing data. And this article comes up talking about just this, right? Internet speeds. And these were like tests across the globe. Some of the best internet speeds in America are at airports, and those speeds compared to the airport in Turkey, Istanbul, right? Or yeah, it's night and day. They're running almost 600 gigabits down, I think, and the best in America is like maybe 1 or 2 gigs down.
Wow.
Are you listening, America? Yeah, that's a joke. This is why everyone in America, like, why am I having problems with my internet? What's going on? I'm like 2 feet from my router. What's going on? This is why. Because America has not been improving its infrastructure for the internet for the last 30 years. Only the big boys, Amazon, Apple, Google, do they understand the importance of upgrading this hardware and firmware, not just the software, time and time again? Corporate America does not get this. This is why they should be running towards Bitcoin and running away from AI.
Was it also not, the Project Stargate money that Trump sort of, what was it, 500 billion and then 100 billion a year or something in order to upgrade that infrastructure, that American infrastructure?
Again, it has to be done, man, because again, all of this takes tons of energy. If we're not upgrading the grid, then everything can be compromised, right? So we have to be upgrading the grid. We have to be upgrading all of these, systems that run America and run the world, right? All of these systems have to be running. And to put it in other terms, I think it was Japan, because I'm always reading up on tech. Japan just set a new record with internet speeds a couple weeks ago, where it was like, I kid you not, it was a petabit down. Yeah, that's where we need to be going, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Not like, oh, let's see if we can squeeze some more money out of Americans for a teeny bit of bandwidth. No. And again, this is why I've been pushing the Bluetooth mesh net, right? I don't know how many times I got to talk about this. This is a national security issue, right? One of the top 4 mobile providers goes down, and you're talking about 50 to 100 million Americans can't communicate.
And I think this also showcases sort of the danger of running a fiat currency empire, right? Because you're sort of neglecting, because you get all the power for free, you're neglecting all the essentials and all the critical infrastructure, and then you can China or Japan and passes you by with lightning speed.
Exactly. Again, this is if you want to be doing business in the 21st century, we have to be at better speeds. I know people are leery about 5G. I get it is very high intensive energy, but you can We have radio towers that have kick off almost as much intense energy, but guess what? They're like 700 feet up, right? You can do the same thing with 5G towers. Now, it's not, it doesn't make the telecoms more money because now they got to build these bigger towers, but it makes the network safer. And let's point out that many things in the old world are decentralized and have been decentralized for years. Voting, mail, right? Even though I talk smack on the telecom providers because I know they're trying to just weasel another buck out of us, their mobile towers are decentralized, right?
And even the government, right? You got the Senate, the House, you know.
Exactly. All of these systems have been decentralized since the beginning of America. So everyone who doesn't get decentralization, just look at those models. That's why they're not bulletproof, but they work and have worked for hundreds of years, right? And they're not perfect, but Bitcoin is probably the most perfect form of money that ever has been created. And its only close second is Litecoin. When people say, oh, this thing's the new Ethereum, Litecoin's the new Ethereum. Literally. And let's bring that up. That's the last thing we're going to talk about and we'll wrap it up. But I have a video of them talking about, oh my gosh, I hate that.
And you got the housing market up, right?
Oh yeah. Did you show that?
You were sharing it like a moment.
Okay, I think it was in the background. Let me show that one more time. Yeah, and that's, I forgot to bring that up. Like we've been warning about this, where I've heard politicians, oh, we need more housing, we need more housing, we need more. No, you don't. And here's the chart. Oh, hello, home sellers outnumbered buyers by more than 500,000, largest gap ever recorded. Yeah. So again, let's get back.
Mind the gap.
And here's that video and watch that. I'll pause this right now. Let's just leave that right here. Let's get back to how I can save your boomer ass. 101. I'm not kidding. So exactly what we just saw Sheets do today, you as a boomer should be trying to implement, because your house will move like, do you hear my snap? Like that. Okay. You're trying to sell your house. You put up your $500,000 house for $250,000 worth of Bitcoin. That's like 2.1 Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to $1 million.
And beyond.
Then your 250K becomes 2.1 or $2 million in 10 years. You just outperformed the S&P, you just outperformed the real estate market, you outperformed everything. So let me repeat. You, as the boomer, you take your house, you put it up, you put the sign, was this price, 500K, in Bitcoin, 50% off. I will guarantee you your house sells in 6 months. Guaranteed. And then all you got to do is keep one of those Bitcoin. If you got to liquidate one because you got bills and all that, I get that. But you're going to be real mad when it hits $1 million because you said, oh, I should just listen to Jerry and held on to it because then I would have had $2 million. Correct. And you only have to have like 0.05 to 0.1 in the next 10 to 20 years and you'll be okay, right? Have like I used to say 100 Litecoin. It doesn't look like you're going to need 100 Litecoin either, right? I don't even think you're going to need 80, maybe like 10. Like that's not a lot, right? Get to 10 or 20 Litecoin, you'll probably be cool. Get to 0.1 Bitcoin, you'll probably be fine because all of this money is coming in one direction. It's called the block market. Why? I just told you why all of these proof of work models are going to be superior and will eventually outperform these proof of stake models, because as soon as one of the hackers or one of these models breaks, and again, billions of dollars starts flowing in the opposite direction. Oh yeah. And one more quick chart, because that was the best one of them all that I wanted to share today. It's right here. Boom. Share this tab instead. Yeah. Here it is. So this is on-chain crime by asset since 2020. Notice what it used to be in 2020, almost 75% Bitcoin. Notice Bitcoin keeps going down and down and down. Why is that? Oh, because it's the superior asset. It is the harder currency. And then notice what's creeping up: stable coins and Ethereum. Ethereum actually went down, down, down too. But then it grew like here and here. But look what grew the most: stable coins. This is why stable coins are not your friend, right? Because the criminals like them because they're stupid. Sorry, criminals, you are. And they're not a store of value, right? You can't buy, if you buy $100 worth of Tether in 5-10 years, oh, it's going to be $100 worth of Tether. Are you getting it? If you buy 100 Litecoin today, I guarantee you would not be what is it, $1,200, or what is that, 12,000? Yeah, it wouldn't be $12,000 5 years from now. It'll be way higher, right? But that's all I got for you today. But this is why proof of work is so important and so vital for the future of this virtual economy.
But I guess corrupt money attracts corrupt people, right?
Correct. And again, soft money creates hard money, creates hard art and hard architecture and hard everything. Soft money creates crappy art, crappy music, crappy everything. Again, we have the charts to back this up. This isn't my own theory. I mean, technically it is a little bit my own, but we have the charts from 1971 when Nixon took us off the gold standard. Here comes plastic, right? Here comes polyvinyl everything, right? And literally everything in quality starts doing this from about 1974 till about now. And now, hey, maybe we shouldn't put these chemicals and these dyes into our food. Yeah, Europe's only been doing that since like 1999, but glad you caught up, America. Yes, hard money fixes many problems in the soft world. I'm sorry, but these are facts.
Yeah, I guess power that comes without effort by controlling the money supply corrupts you. And then, it corrupts the system and everything around it. Broken money, right?
Broken money creates broken
people.
Correct.
Okay, on that friendly note, shall we wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Again, thank you so much for my producer and co-host today, Nick. And thank you to our family at Bitcoin Live. Thank you to Deorganized Media, Quantum Expeditions, and Shieldfolio. Again, learn why proof of work is superior. It is far superior than proof of stake. Go get a book. Go get the Bitcoin Standard. Go read Bitcoin Billionaires. Go find something that will get you interested in this topic, and then your mind will be opened, and then you'll want to learn more. Like it changed my life, right? I learned cybersecurity. I learned Python data science. I tell people I learned HTML, JavaScript, all this stuff just so I could know more and be safer in this space, right? If I didn't know the cybersecurity that I learned in 2021 or whatever, I'd have no idea what to do in that scenario that happened the other day. But I knew what to do. I took control back over of my account because I understand how these systems work, right? And turn on your two-factor authentication. I don't know how many times that has saved somebody from their account being compromised or their Binance account being hacked, etc. Set that up, because that's one thing the hackers, it's like a stumbling block for them. And they know this. So if you just have that one feature on, right? It's just like when we had the club back in the 90s, right? All these criminals, if they saw that on your steering wheel, what are they doing? They're going to the next car. It's the same thing. You got 2FA turned on and you got your complex password, all this stuff set up. The hackers are like, nope, I'll go to the next guy because he'll be easier. He'll have a 6-digit PIN or password 1, right? I'm in there.
All accounts.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exclamation point, right? Don't use that crap. Most of these systems won't even allow you make those types of passwords anymore, but there's still older systems that are like, yeah, whatever. And you're like, no. But anyway, be safe out there. And as MattySats always says, be safe, stay humble, stack sats. Peace out.
Take care.